So far, we have explored adding a CSS reset to our project. And remember, not all browsers are equal. So we use a CSS reset to get our pages to be as similar, to get our page to look as similar as possible across the different browsers. Now, let's talk about CSS media queries and common viewport breakpoints. Now, I have two pages here which we had available in the discussion, and this first one is a bit Apple centric here, and they talk a little bit about screen resolution and device width and screen sizes and so on. Okay, and then they give us a little bit of code. We'll do our own. And then they get down to their category of devices. And these are the breakpoints. So these are the devices. And again, this is very Apple centric, but these are the typical breakpoints in pixels. So this would be portrait views as well as landscape views for the different devices. And as designers, as front-end designers, developers, we have to be very aware of the different devices, the popularity of those devices, and the most common breakpoint widths for those different devices. So this is a good resource here. And then I also liked this one for a couple of reasons. One is it takes into consideration responsive design for WordPress. And being that WordPress has upwards near 35% of an author rate for websites currently published. So at this time in 2020, we're looking at upwards near 35% of all sites authored are done so using WordPress. That's why I've chosen this one, was to point that out. And then I figure if WordPress, as popular as what WordPress is, that if there is published information as far as common breakpoints, that could be pretty useful to you. And what's nice here is they talk about Apple as well as Android devices. Okay, so I encourage you to do your own research. These two resources are available to you, and what you need to do is take the time and become more aware of devices which people use to access content, the fact that mobile sites are most popular, gaining in popularity, and that we really should be thinking about designing for the mobile experience. But not just mobile, we have to think about responsive. And we can create responsive designs and layouts by using media queries. Our media queries can detect breakpoints. And again, what we're keeping in mind is the need of the users. We have to think about bandwidth. We have to think about in our interfaces the size of elements and the placement of elements, how those elements behave. Okay, and we can do that. We can affect that experience by using media queries. All right, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and create a simple mobile menu to demonstrate just what a media query does. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back, and we will create a media query inside of our mood board demo here later. This first one we'll keep really simple. So let's go ahead and get this set up. Then we will resume in a second or in the next video. All right, so let's go ahead and just create a new HTML document. And our framework will be none, so that make sure it's an HTML5. So we're going to go ahead and create, and then let's go ahead and save. And we will just call this is going to go inside of our exercise 6 root level folder, and let's just call this simple mobile menu. Okay, HTML, we'll save it directly inside. Then let's go up to File, New. We're going to make a CSS document because we're going to place our rules in a linked CSS document. So let's go ahead and create, and we will save, and we will also call this simple mobile menu.css. And we will save this directly into our exercise 6 folder. We can close this file. Now we're going to link our CSS, so we'll do so right after our title. So let's go ahead and link href equals, and this is simple mobile menu. It's probably in here. This is a nice feature of some editors, in this case Dreamweaver. Because we have a root level folder which is managed, Dreamweaver knows to look inside this folder, so we need to find simple, and there it is, simple mobile menu CSS. So I'm just going to press return and select. Now the relationship of this style sheet is exactly that, a style sheet. Okay. All right. And the type of style sheet we have here, so type equals, and this will be text CSS. We can complete our link, and let's go ahead and save, and you will see that our simple mobile menu CSS file is now linked to our source code, which is simple mobile menu HTML, which for this demo I have just saved inside my main exercise 6 root level folder. All right, in the next video we will begin to create our mobile menu, which will be changed based on a simple media query or breakpoint.